To summarize all of it, someone died, someone was possessed, and our whole cabin was haunted. I have to be like hyped for this because this is a really long story. Hi, my name is Ciara again, and you guys have been asking me to share some paranormal encounters with you guys, and I have this one really vivid memory from 2 years ago, I believe. And I know I said in the title it was like a summer camp, but it wasn't in summer, it was like around November or something. So I'm just gonna start with the story. It's gonna be like a really long one because this happened in a span of 5 days. I won't mention any specific name or a specific place, but you probably know it if you know what's the most notoriously haunted place in the Philippines. So it was up in the mountains with all the pine trees, and it was very, very cold. So I'm just gonna set the scene here. So we're going to this camp, this conference thing, where high school students from all around the Philippines are brought to this one place to compete in competitions, to meet new people, to socialize. In our whole school, they chose 30 people to join this thing, and I was one of those people. So when we get to the camp, it's like 5 a.m. It looks beautiful. Like, it's just like, wow, like, it's so wintry, it's so pretty. We get to our cabin, the girls are separated from the boys, and I think we were like 20 girls. So the cabin is like divided into two. When you enter it, there's a top floor, and then there's stairs leading down to the basement. The top floor, there were like 4 rooms there, and 4 people per room, so that was like 16 people on top. And then when you go downstairs, there's another room, and another 4 people stayed there, which were like the younger batches. The teacher companion was with them. So I pick a room with my best friend. Her name's Jill. That's not really her name, but her name's Jill in this story. And we're like, okay, we'll take this one because it's closest to the door. It seems cool here. We put our bags there, and we're with these 2 other girls. They're also our friends. The first day, we're just orientation. And in orientation, I specifically remember they were like, guys, please don't go ghost hunting. This was the 60th anniversary of this whole convention. I don't know, it was like, they said it would like attract more paranormal things just because it was like a big milestone for this convention, and like the ghosts would know or something. I don't know. Disclaimer, I do believe in these paranormal things. Like, I'm very, how do you say, I'm very like Ryan Bergara from BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Fuck this house, dude. Fuck this house so hard.
No, please don't come in here. Ah! Oh, God!
And Jill, my friend, is very Shane.
Hey there, demons. It's me, your boy.
I'm very like, no. I get like these weird vibes from some places. So once I heard that, I was like, I'm not doing that. And then my friend Jill was like, dude, I want to do it. Let's go do it. And I'm like, I'm not trying to like get possessed or anything. So what happened was, the first night, we were in this room, and I don't remember the windows being open. I'm pretty sure they weren't, but when we woke up, the windows were open. And mind you, this place is really, really cold. So yeah, that's just like a side story to it. So the next day, I'm done with my part of the competition, and then all my best friends, they're all in the short film competition. So I could either go to like these conferences, learn these things, and like get my money's worth, or I could hang out with my friends around this camp thing. You know what I chose. I chose to hang out with them. So yeah, they were part of the short film competition, and they won. I'm just gonna put it out there because I'm like really proud of them. They won in the whole Philippines. So yeah, they were like filming and stuff. So I just followed them around, assist, eat their snacks, just talk to them. They decided to do horror because not a lot of people in this convention ever saw like a short film that was horror. This place was like dilapidated. It was old. It was like, yeah, we're in like one of the most haunted places in the Philippines. Yeah, let's do a horror thing. Like, what could go wrong? So during the filming, one of my classmates, she dressed up as a white lady. She was a ghost in the film. And one of my other friends, let's call her Fel, she was the main character of this whole thing. They used our room for the filming, and they also used the basement. So they used our room. And Fel's lines were, nasan ka na, magpakita ka na. Basically like just taunting the ghost for the plot of the film. And so they were filming in the basement, and I was just tagging along with them. I'm like, oh, I want to see what's going on, because like I'm annoying. And I'm like, can I eat your snacks? Can I talk to you guys? And they're like, Ciara, shut up. Can you go up first, because you're really noisy? And I'm like, so I'm just gonna go up. From the basement, I went back up to the living room, and I was the only one there. So I just lie down on the couch, use my phone. I'm about to sleep because I was really sleepy. I was like, okay, I'm asleep. And when I closed my eyes, there was knocking on the wall beside me. I opened my eyes and I'm like, holy shit. Okay, maybe it could be like the wind or something. So I just like stopped for a few seconds, and then I hear footsteps. And mind you, I was like the only one. I knew I was the only one on the top floor. I fucking speed walk. I run down, and they're in the middle of their like shoot. And I'm like, guys, fucking knocked beside me, and like there were like footsteps, and I heard things, and they were like, Ciara, shut up. Like, it's probably just the wind. Like, we're in like a freaking windy place. It's probably nothing. And I'm like, You didn't? No one believes me? So I just like pushed that out of my head, but I was like, "Ugh, I don't like it here. I want to go home." I forgot to mention in the first night, I wasn't with the short film group, so they were looking around the venue for places to film. And there's this one place in this whole camp, and it's called the White Hall. You'll probably like know what I'm talking about already if you've been to this camp, but it's called the White Hall, and no one goes here. There's like a sign outside, "Don't trespass," because it has like this notorious reputation for being haunted. There are like so much stories about it. Like people would put their hands inside the White Hall as a dare, and then like the next day they'd get fever, or they'd see people like walking around, or they'd hear footsteps around this place. Backstory: this camp was an encampment for the Japanese back when the Japanese occupied the Philippines. So they would like, trigger warning, they would like harass Filipino women, and they would kill Filipinos, and that just like sort of like built up the reputation of this place. White Hall, it was taken off the map of this camp. If you look at the camp map, you won't find it anywhere there. Like you have to ask for directions from someone. Also, like if you try to search about it online, they don't put it online. There's like few things about it online, which is kind of like disturbing with the amount of stories that people have to say about this place. We're gonna get back to White Hall later. I just needed to insert that here. Next day, day 3. Day 3 was a wild day. So the short film people had to submit their film by day 4. So they were like working to the max every day. That was all they had to do for the whole camp. They had to film, edit, and submit. I went with my other friend. Let's call her Marie. So right now we have Jill, Marie, and later we'll have Margot. You'll probably know who they are if you know me. So I went on a walk with my friend. We were just walking. It was fun. Suddenly, I hear Jill shouting. She's like,
Help, help.
I'm like, what? So we go in front of the cabin, and in front of the cabin, there was a man face flat on the ground, on the concrete floor. And we're just like, who is this? Like, oh my god, what happened? Is he okay? And there was like blood already starting to come out from his head. And so we get the staff member comes, and she's super nonchalant. She's just like, oh. And we're just like,
Huh?
we didn't know what happened. We didn't know what to do. And he's like, he does that all the time. And we're just like, ma'am, he's bleeding. He's bleeding through his head. And he stands up out of nowhere. And we're just like, whoa, don't stand up. She was like, no, it's okay. He starts walking away. And she starts following him. And she's like, it happens all the time. Don't worry about it. So yeah, we were just like, what the frick? Me and my friend, Marie, we just go to our conferences. So the whole day we just had like conferences. It was fun. So I wanted to meet up with my other friend Margot because she was part of the short film group. So we went back to our cabins after eating, and then we were walking towards the gathering hall for like the next activity. So when we were walking towards the gathering hall, we were like, oh, okay, fun. Oh, this is so fun. We're like in the trees and it's so cold. It's so fun here. And we're walking, and you know how like in zombie apocalypses people are running the other direction from you, and you're walking and you're just like, what's going on? Why are people like running the other direction? I don't understand. And so one of the heads of my group was like, go back to your cabins. You need to go back to your cabins right now. Tell everyone to go back to their cabins. And we're like, but why? We look over his shoulder and we see this girl sitting down with a group of other girls crying around her. And she's just like staring into blank space. She's just like, and like people are crying around her. And me and Margot, we were just like, what's going on? And then the head was like, someone got possessed. And we're just like, huh? He's like, yeah, please go back to your cabins. Like, we don't want it to get any worse. Okay. And we're like, did a full 180. It went all over the camp that the activities were cancelled. So apparently we're gonna go back to my story a while ago about the White Hall. You remember when I said it was like the most notorious place and stuff, and people were told not to go around ghost hunting? So these group of girls were making fun of the hall. Like, they went up to it, they started throwing rocks at it. They were like, you're just a hall. I mean, like, they were like calling names at it. They were making fun of it. And so one of the girls got possessed. A bunch of other stories started to go around this camp that this group of boys in the other building were making a makeshift Ouija board, and they were trying it out, and suddenly one of the boys on the top of their stairs was pushed down by some black figures. This was just something that went around the camp, and we were just like, oh shit, okay, thank God we didn't do anything stupid like that. Or so we thought. So, we get back to our cabin. I'm on my very heavy period day, and I want to change my underwear, and I try to open the door, and it's locked. I'm like, what? Why is it locked? Someone please open this door. I need to change my panty, please. So we tried getting it open. Everyone else tried to open it, and it was just like, it's really jammed in there. My teacher was like, did anyone lock this door? And we were like, no, because we weren't even here the whole day. We were literally out the whole day. So the door was locked. And then we started to ask for like the people who work in the camp. We're like, hey, our door's locked, all our stuff's in there. We need to open this door, please. They had the keys and nothing was working. Nothing was working with this door. This took like around like an hour or something. Like it was really long. We were just like waiting there. Everyone else was already settled down and only me and the other 3 girls in my room were dressed up in our clothes still. Our teacher suddenly was talking to the door. Our teacher was like, iwanan niyo na yung mga bata. Kailangan na nila matulog. And then he started praying Hail Mary. And after praying, the door opened. Like, holy shit, what? The door opened. Like, they tried everything to get the door open. But after he prays Hail Mary, the door opens. And we were just like, huh? I literally just grabbed all my stuff from that room and I went to the other room. I'm like, I'm sleeping here. I'm not trying to get killed today. Not today, Satan. Oh, did I mention that the room that we were in was the same room where they were like, nasan ka na? Nasan ka na? That was the same room. So we were just like, ah! So after that, everyone from the girls' cabin went to the boys' cabin. And one of my friends, David, he's like a praise and worship leader. He did some praise and worship and it was really nice. But at the same time, just looking back at it, we were all just like, please don't possess me. I really don't want to die. Yeah, after the praise and worship, the short film group was still in that boys' cabin and they were still doing all their things. Like all my friends and the girls, they were in that cabin and they were filming and they were editing and all that stuff because they needed to submit this film by the next day. I was like, can I sleep here? Because I don't want to sleep in our cabin. And they were like, okay, sure. Day 4 was the day that they were supposed to submit this film. The film was supposed to be submitted at 8 a.m. sharp. If you didn't submit by 8 a.m., you are disqualified. When it was like 7:30, everyone was already starting to get up, kind of panicking. They were starting to go to the main hall where you submit the films. I was one of the last people to leave the cabin. So me and my friend Margot, we were sitting there. She was sitting diagonal to me and there was a chair behind her. When I got up from my chair, I saw the chair in front of me just moved back and I was like, oh my god, you need a force of a man to push that chair. The wind does not do that. I got my friend's hand and we're like, we're getting out of here. So I freaking ran away and she's like, wait, we left David. And David was sleeping in the room and I'm like, no, we don't have time to get David. I'm not trying to die today. No, we're not trying to get David. Whatever happens to him happens. Sorry, David, if you're watching this. After that, we get to the gathering hall and they submit the film and it was like real clutch and we're like, yay, finally the stress is over. Then, after that, one of the staff members goes ahead and tells our teacher, remember the guy in front of the cabin the day before who fell face flat? Well, he was brought to the hospital and he passed away. And we were like, what? Yeah, so apparently he passed away the night of the possession. The boys got pushed down the stairs the night of the Ouija board, the night that we were doing praise and worship. Like, he passed away during that night and we were all like, no. And we didn't know who this man was and we were just like, damn. I don't know how else to transition it. And then we had like our formal night and we had like our goodbye night and it was really sad because I really enjoyed my experience there. But all these things happened that didn't happen in the past years. When we'd asked the other people who worked there, they're like, no, this has never happened before. We're like, so you don't get possession every year? Just this year? They're like, yeah, pretty much. I don't know why they continue to do the convention there, but I guess it's the only place and like more students want to come because it has like a haunted reputation. So that is the story of the time I went to camp and lots of shit went down. If you guys like this video and you want to see more story times from me, let me know. If you guys like this video, give it a like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz if you want to, and I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you guys are staying safe. Mwah! Bye!